Be excellent to each other and party on. We're back for another Legacy League, and today we are playing Grixis Tempo. We have Nethergoyf in the house, very powerful beater. We have Tamiyo in the house, very powerful creature that quickly becomes a planeswalker and quickly wins the game within 4 turns of flipping. We have Kaito, another powerful planeswalker that just completely dominates decks if you can get it out, and you can get it out uncounterably, and it can immediately start generating value as long as you have an attacker that you can ninjutsu back into your hand. We have Barragoyf. This card is overperformed for me. I went ahead and pulled out the Murktides and put in the Barragoyfs. I am now fully on Team Barragoyf. This card is so strong because your opponents have to address it. If it connects, they basically just fall behind in cards. Whereas Murktide, they can wait a few turns and then remove it. Barragoyf, they cannot let it connect. By splashing red, we get access to Molten Collapse, which is a great removal spell, much better than cards like Sheoldred's Edict or Shoot the Sheriff or Go for the Throat or any of those cards. So this is a 2-mana sorcery, yes, but it can also remove an Aether Vial. It can remove a Flip Tamiyo. It can remove a lot of things, and it can 2-for-1, which is great. You can kill a creature or a planeswalker, and you could remove, a Carpet of Flowers. Very strong. Of course, we've got the 4 Bowmasters for disruption. We've got the 3 Dazes, 3 Thoughtseizes, we got 3 Wastelands, 4 Forces. So we're a highly interactive tempo deck, but we do have a little bit bigger of a plan. In adding Molten Collapse, we can go down to 1 Brazen Bar. I want to note that even though this is the only main deck red card, we do have some other very powerful red spells in the sideboard. We have a 2nd Molten Collapse. We have 3 Pyroblast, which are very good right now. And we have Meltdown, which is great against creature strategy. We also have 3 additional Nile Spellbombs. I'm rocking one of them main because it's so good with Tarmogoyf and Nethergoyf in terms of just making them bigger. And sometimes a random one of Nile Spellbomb can just win you the game. It's a really good card. The opportunity cost of having it in your deck is minimal. We also have a couple of Forced Negations for combo matchups. We've got Harbinger of the Seas, which is really good against Karnforge decks, Mana Ramp style decks, lands. And then we have the 3 Hydros, which are really good against Moonstompy. Now, you may be saying, adding a 3rd color to your deck, didn't you just make yourself way more susceptible to Moonstompy? Well, we are still able to play the basic Swamp and the basic Island and still have 14 initial blue sources thanks to going down to 3 Underground Seas and adding the Badlands and the Valk as our mana sources. I think this mana base is going to work. This is non-standard. A lot of the people I've talked to have just been not playing the basic Swamp at all, but I think basic Swamp is so strong, and I think we want to be playing it, especially if we're going to be playing so many black cards, which we are. So this will be a fun league. We're going to do the full 5 rounds. As always, leave comments with timestamps if you have feedback on my play, questions about why I'm doing certain things in the way I'm doing it. If you catch any punts, for sure, let me know. I will respond to all the comments. It's very helpful for me as a player. It's helpful for everybody else tuning in, trying to get better. See you in round 1. Round 1, we're up against an unknown opponent on the draw. This is a Force of Will hand, which I am going to keep. This hand's pretty flexible. So if they are on some crazy combo deck, hopefully Force keeps them in check. We can Force pitch in Kaito. If we get a chance to develop. Oh, is this Thoughtseize? Yeah, it's Thoughtseize. Well, that's going to happen. The good news is they're probably not on super fast combo. They're probably on Blue-Black Reanimator. They might be on Blue-Black Tempo. They took the Tamiyo, which means they're probably not even on combo. Okay, that's a great rip. That is a fantastic rip. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to play out this Bloodstained Mire. We can still fetch the basic island if we need to, but this can be used for, we can't get the swamp anymore, so we should use these first. We're just going to chill. We have Daze Protective Force if we need to force an Entomb. We have Bowmaster for their Bowmaster, which they're likely playing. Forest! Is Beans? Well, Beans is going to get forced. I don't let Beans resolve we don't let Beans resolve in this house. This art is sick, dude. Look at that eyeball. How does it see through a forest-shaped pupil? I have no idea how dragon, physiology works. They should force back here, but they don't have to. The great thing about forcing the Beans is you force the Beans player to play the force into your Beans before they're under Beanstalk, so they don't get the extra card. And worst case scenario, this is going to be a 2-for-1 either way because it resolves when they draw a card. Beans is kind of a force check. By the way, I'm a Beans player and I have tons of Beans videos. Tune in, learn it, love it, live it. My opponent said, haha, I know you. I just realized who you are. Be excellent. Huge fan of you. Thanks, that means a lot. All right, cool. So with the Beans resolves, we can surveil. They're on green, so they're on a heavier build. They may be playing Uro. I don't generally play Forest at all in my Beans builds, just because the opportunity cost is pretty high. Like I generally in Bug Beans, like I don't even play. Oh, I think this might actually be a keep. They have 4 cards. If we screw them off 2 colors, it's huge. And this might not be the right play. I'm not convinced it's the right play. We don't have anything else going on. I'm going to do it. All right. So we have Fatal Push-Up, which probably doesn't matter. Again, when I say Fatal Push-Up, I always think like a push-up pop that is like laced with cyanide or something. If you remember what Fatal Push-Up pops were. Okay, they're staying on basics. This is great for us. Okay, that's not great for us. So I'm going to presume they have a force and they just didn't force back because they're like, well, I'll just try again, which Days would have been a great draw here. Unfortunately, we didn't get Days. I'm going to play this out and I'll just chill with the Bowmaster up. I can respond to them doing something. I can end step it. They're going to force it. It doesn't matter. These freaking basics are so sick looking. I can put these in my deck. I have these. I have access to every card ever printed. So they're going to force this and then we're going to do Beargoyf stuff. Hopefully Beargoyf carries. I doubt it will because they've got, fetch plus force up. What? We're in? That's huge. They're just going to Fatal Push. Really? We're in? Okay, that's good. That's very good. Kaito would be insane. Holy cow. That is not helpful, but it is good to know that that's there. I got really excited because I thought I could use it and protect my Bowmaster. I'm going to go ahead and attack. This is dead to Bowmaster. Wait. Endurance. Do we want to attack and just get our damage? If they're low, I'm going to do it. If they Endurance, I'll attempt a Fatal Push. Oh, we're in. That's great. I wish I had Kaito to capitalize. Okay. Well, I don't expect them to have a Wrath effect in their deck, so I am just going to jam the Beargoyf and try to overload the removal. We can show them our true colors. No. Ooh, I don't think it's worth it because we have 1 black card, or like really the red card. The red lands are for post board. I'm going to take an Underground Sea. I don't want to get wasted off either of my color. Well, I guess I could have taken an L in there. Yeah, actually, I think it's almost always correct to just take the L in there. It's a 5/6 Beargoyf. What say ye? What? We're in? Okay. So Murderous Cut is definitely live here, and Murderous Cut is going to find a tasty target in Beargoyf, but they are Undercity Sewering it. Just taking a nice bath. Splish splash. I was taking a bath in the Undercity Sewers. All right. That worked out well for us. Beargoyf just ends games. Pyroblast come in for sure. Now Spell Bomb. Thank you. Yes, and thank you. Okay, so we're going to rock all 4 of these. I think we take out the Days. I like Days, but not on the draw. We have to keep in Force out of respect for the sheer awesome power of the Beanstalk. It's an incredible card. I'm going to take out all the 4 Fatal Pushes. I'm going to bring in a Molten Collapse because it takes care of Carpet. We don't really care that much about Carpet, but they can go really crazy with Carpet. Also, this does answer Merc. Yeah, I like this a lot. Hopefully they don't waste us off red. We do only have 2 red sources, and we did just bring in 4 red cards. I like this a lot. I love this deck. Like the more I look at it, like this is just such a clean mapping. Yeah. All right. I'll stop complimenting my own deck building skills. By the way, this is heavily based off of a deck that boasts like Mr. UC, Pokimoki. A lot of people are like innovating in this space. This is a good hand. I'm not going to mulligan against this player. I don't like mulliganing against Beanstalk decks. Every card matters. We're not going to be able to force the initial Beanstalk. That's a bummer. They're going to have Beanstalk out. We're just going to live with it. We're going to try to tempo them. We're a tempo deck. There's Tommy. I can't do anything about that, but I do have a bunch of Pyroblast for later. All right, so you don't ever waste a player who's just put something like that on the table. Instead, you just drop your own thing and you chill. And we're going to start hitting them. Oh, no. Oh, no. This is a bad play. They can Bowmaster this. But if they do, then I'll just Bowmaster the Bowmaster. So it'll be all right. But I will be really sad if they Bowmaster. They must presume that I have Days to protect. Because what freaking moron would put another wave out against the known Bowmaster deck without any protection, right? That would just be crazy. So my opponent is going to give me a lot of credit here, and they're not going to Bowmaster me, hopefully. Even though I was a dum-dum here. All right, Brainstorm. Tommy flips. I do have pressure. Again, I'm less worried about this because I've got 5 answers to her. They all involve red mana, though. It's worth noting that my opponent did not play a mana yet. Are they going to play a land? If they're not going to play a land, I am going to waste. They did play a land. It's a wasteland. Okay. So, options. 1, you just drop one of these, get some power, hit Tommy a little bit. I don't really want to do that. We do need to attack for something here. So I could do an ugly main phase brainstorm. That's an option. Put back one of these spell bombs. They are a couple turns from Merc. I mean, let's see. They fetch. They probably can't Merc next turn. I just want to keep Tommy in check. We do have an answer to her, but like, there's no guarantee this won't get forced. I think it's okay to burn a card, just dropping the Nile spell and nuking their graveyard, because that takes them off Murder's Cut as well. I think that's better than wasting a brainstorm, because we really do want to shuffle away some of these things. Like, Wasteland is not great right now because we're on the defensive. I'm going to go ahead and make sure they don't have I can't think of something they would have here. I will attack the Tommy. It's going to get debuffed. Now I'm just going to hit their guard. Again, like, a lot of people might be like, this is like really inefficient. You could just draw a card later. And I agree, but I need to do something to at least look performatively like I'm caring about Tommy. Okay, and that is going to give power to him indefinitely. It was a 1-card sacrifice, right? It's like a bauble that we don't get to draw off of, basically. They have 5 cards left in their grip. Next turn, we brainstorm, and we can do a lot more. Or, actually, I may just Bowmaster directly. Yeah, and the reason I'm going to consider Bowmastering is Bowmaster goes to the yard. That gives another Goyf even more power. Bowmaster doesn't go to the yard. Tommy was taken care of. Wait, is she? No, we could knock her down a lot, though. And main phasing Bowmaster, it may seem like a horrible idea because they're going to have their own Bowmasters. But they probably only have like 2 or 3 Bowmasters. They probably don't have the full 4. Okay, they could have Days In. Borrower just cleanly answers. And if it gets forced, it's okay. I'd rather have them force a Borrower, right? We bounce this to hand. They just spend a bunch of turns doing nothing, basically. I don't want to expose my Wasteland. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and attempt to do this. They probably protect the Queen. I would protect the Queen here. All right. So that does buff the Goyf. Now we're swinging for 2. We're keeping her at homeostasis. She cannot take off yet. If they have a Fatal Push as well, it's devastating. What do they pitch here? Pitch to Ponder. Okay, it's not the worst. This is Legacy 2025. It's another Goyf on Tamio. It's not pretty. But Tamio is like just an incredible card. Like I've said many times on the channel, I think she's the best tempo creature ever printed. I mean, DRC is pretty damn good, though. DRC is amazing, but Tamio just kills so much quicker. If you can protect her, you can win. And like Uro can race a DRC pretty easily, but Uro can't do jack to Tommy. By the time Uro's even escaped, Tommy's at like 8 loyalty. Actually, they could Merc here. They could Merc. That's not a Merc color, but they are getting their colors set up because they know we have this Wasteland coming. That's the Merc. No, wait. Is this bargain? Please be bargain. Okay, I'm totally chill with that. Like when my opponent is casting when I've got a great grip like this and my opponent's casting cards like Rakshas's Bargain or Stock Up, I'm happy because we're a tempo deck. You just need to buy time. It's fine. So I am going to be able to brainstorm this turn. The cards that they put in their graveyard were 2 Murktides, interestingly. So options. We could Ponder and potentially brainstorm here and then just kill her. No, we can't kill her outright. So either of these are going to buff, and I don't want to put back any of these cards. These are all fine. I need to hit their graveyard again. I think I'm going to Ponder and see if I can find, but I do want to hit their graveyard this turn. Force is actually totally fine. And then we did find another land. Thoughtseize is okay. It's not great. I mean, we could Thoughtseize, but we've already got our Ponder. I think we could probably shuffle Thoughtseize away at this point. I'm going to take this Force. So the question is, do we want to Bowmaster now or do we just want to hit their graveyard again? They could have another Merc, and like if they're like me, like a total Mad Lad, they might be playing 4 Mercs. Merc is dangerous here. Play this out. Let's go ahead and drop the Spell Bomb. And I am just going to draw through. So I guess I am going to get that Thoughtseize after all. Now, Daze is super live, unfortunately for us. Let's go ahead and attack Tommy. Gradually chipping away at her armor. She can only regenerate so fast. She's got like one of those Halo-style shields. Okay, and we still have the Bowmaster. We've been disciplined about not playing it out. But Bowmaster is an answer to our opponent's Bowmaster. At least when you're playing control. We're kind of playing tempo, so maybe that's not necessarily true. Okay, there's the green. Don't beanstalk me. Do not beanstalk me. But we're keeping them off cut, which is like a quarter of the removal. Like depending on how many. Like Pokemoki, I think is only playing like 2 push, 2 cut, 2 edict. We have enough stuff in our graveyard we can just bring them right back if we need to. This could be Witherbloom minus ability. Unless I'm missing something that doesn't accomplish anything. Okay, they refill. He's a 1/4, but that only lasts till the end of turn. Dress down. Oh, that doesn't actually change anything. They missequenced. No, wait, it does till the end of turn? Okay, well, I didn't realize that. I should have forced that. Sorry, my excellent friends. I just totally didn't. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, good play on my opponent's part. So I think we Thoughtseize, clear the path, and then we just Bowmaster. And then we have Force Up to protect Bowmaster. Yeah, I'm going to Thoughtseize first. And then we can bring back Nethergoyf. Okay, so I think at this point, Rakshasa Bargain's the thing we take because it's just a lot of cards. Okay, and then I'm just going to go get a Underground Sea, I guess. Then I'll just bring back Nethergoyf. I just want to hold the... Oh, what's the other card in their hand? They have another Tommy and a Delta. So we could just put the Bowmaster out there and then force to protect it. I don't hate that. The next turn we have the Goyf. I don't think wasting them helps because they have a Delta. I don't think wasting is going to do anything this game. I'm just going to go get an Underground Sea here. And I'm just going to main phase the Bowmaster. So if they go to fetch... Should I have held up blue here? I don't think so. So they are going to be able to plus Tommy 2 turns in a row, but they're not going to be able to like regrow this without losing her. They may do that just to get rid of this Bowmaster. It is going to be a thorn in their side, but I will force if they do that. And then we have Nethergoyf coming back. We're still far behind. Oh no! Wait. Untapped. Okay. You know, I didn't account for them having it in hand. That's very embarrassing. I don't think that's likely to happen. But they naturally drew. That was a draw for turn. I was going to respond to them fetching. But, you know, there's not anything I can do here because it's untapped when it comes in. They are minusing to get this. It's fine. Yeah, that's fine. And I'm just going to... we're so far behind in cards. But we have plenty of time on the clock. I'm going to try to do my best here. They've got 2 copies of every color. So we're not going to really have an impact here. Them minusing Tomio is nice, though. So I will force the Witherbloom, and then they'll be able to resolve the other card. They added 1 black. They're going to bargain first, unfortunately, for me. So this might give them a window to find a force. I can't do anything about this. They're very far ahead. That Tommy was just like such a huge distraction, which is what she's supposed to do. So they're going to green black, and that'll force it, and then hopefully they don't have a force back. They can't daze back. They have to force back. So we're drawing a wild here. It's just a question of whether we have a Bowmaster to our name. Okay, so they still have all these 3 of these cards. They got a new one. No, wait. They should have gotten 2 new ones. Yeah, they got a lot of... That was a big turn for them. My goodness. Okay, so we have to protect Orcish Bowmaster at all costs. They don't have any sweepers. You know what? I'm going to... which is more important? I think Tommy's probably more important than Nethergoyf. If they counter the Nethergoyf, I'll be okay with that. Play this out. Oh, I'm going to go ahead and attack first. I don't think there's anything they can do about this. So we're chipping. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and drop the Tommy. Does this scare you? They said they're in Germany and it's like 10 p.m. Hang in there. It's worth it to play with me in the middle of my workday, I guess. So land. We got double artifact. We could take an instant out. It's pretty easy to replace. We take a sorcery out. And land, artifact, sorcery. I have to take a creature out, unfortunately. But I think there's a good chance that one of these creatures ends back up in the bin. I'll take a creature. 4/5. It's freaking awesome. Really hard to play against a skilled player like Yo. I'm related to Yo-Yo Ma. I think they meant to say you. Okay, blue. This is the Merc that we feared. We can race a Merc. If they start swinging, we're going to swing. How big is this thing going to be? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's going to be full size. We are so screwed, but we have 5 answers. 5 answers in our deck. They're down to 3 cards. They did not get a Beanstalk trigger off this. There's Tommy. They've got lots of blocks up. They can get their value engine going. We can't really do anything about it. They can't crack these clues without us getting pings and growing our army. They're pondering into it. I love to see it, but it is scary for sure because they can find force and just protect the queen on this Merc. We've got 2 turn cycles. Bowmaster will just hit them. I seriously doubt they're going to draw enough cards that taking down Tommy is an option. All right, black man in the pool. Which of my creatures is dead? What? Interesting. Okay. Well, yeah, that might, like, I don't think they have Kaito in the deck. Kaito, by the way, that would be a sick rip. All right. We're going to dare to dream here. Can we find the pyro? Haha, yes! Yes! Fist pump. We can Goif and pyro. Inflict massive damage. That's what I'm all about, even on friendly opponents like this one, who's struggling at 10 p.m. Gotta, like, do everything we can, right? So I think we just pyro attack, and then next turn we Nether Goif again. We give them 0 reprieve, 0 quarter. They're down to 1 spell. Yeah, let's cast this. Destroy target permanent if it's blue. It's a huge draw. Let's come in. It's a friendly hug from your friendly neighborhood Nether Goif. 5/6ers. What? It's not a force block. They're just chilling. They're not block. They should have blocked this at least. I mean, they had perfect information. I have no cards in my hand. So I think that, like, might just be the fatigue. I don't see how they survive, especially when I drop another 5/6 Nether Goif. They might be able to find, like, an endurance. That would be huge. Earl would be huge. They could flip Tommy. That buys them a little bit of time. Is this another bargain? If anything can do it at this point, it's bargaining into, like, really good stuff. But they have been bargaining outside of Beanstalk. They've gotten extremely unlucky in terms of Beanstalks. They didn't have any Beanstalks at all this game, did they? And at this point, Beanstalk is just not enough. We've got too much board presence. What they need to draw is, like, a graveyard hate spell. Which, like, if I were them, I'd be jamming, like, 4 endurances in my deck. Or well, I think 4 is the magic number. Graveyard is so important right now. They are taking out this guy. Okay, that doesn't mean that they have a cantrip. Crack. Now they're going to crack this fetch. Or crack the clue, probably. They have another bargain. What is this? Okay, clue. All right. Well, the game is really prescribed. Like this is a force block. They basically have to block this unless they have a fatal push. I'm going to go ahead and come in for a hug. Then this is where we really ruin their day by dropping the Nether Goif. Yep. Tommy took one for the team. I played a game last night in paper, and I had all 4 Nether Goifs in my opener hand, and it was just brutal. Like, my opponent, I think they thought seized 1, and then they, like, forced, like, the 4th one. That's good, but it's not going to get you there. Do you have Pernicious Deed? Pernicious Deed would save you. That would be, like, the most epic Pernicious Deed of all time, basically. They can't fetch. They can't force. They do have life gain in the form. GG's. That was a long, hard-fought match. Are they going to bowmaster themselves for style points here? All right. Great games. All right. So we will see you in the next round. We're 1-0. All right. Round 2. We're up against a possible Oops All Spells player. We're on the play, though. Hopefully this daze gets us somewhere. We don't know what we're up against, so I'm just going to float this island out there and chill. We already have our Undercity Sewer, so we don't want to lead. We don't want to find ourselves completely empty. I'm going to keep. Like, I don't know they're on Oops All Spells. If they were, frankly, like, mulliganing isn't going to help that much. We do have 4 forces in our deck, but, like, that doesn't necessarily stop them. We do have a single Nile Spell Bomb, which is basically GG against them. Game 1. So, yeah, hopefully we draw that. I mean, if I keep running into Oops All Spells, I will probably put a second Nile Spellbomb in the main. I used to play that way back when Blue-Black Reanimator was... they're mulling to 5. They don't know what we're on, but if they've ever heard of Be Excellent, they know I'm on a blue deck with at least 4 Force of Will and probably some number of Dazes. So that is kind of a disadvantage of like... and they can certainly Google me, and there's plenty of like deck lists and stuff. I always encourage you to Google your opponents. Like this person didn't have a lot of recent history, but I did see that Oops All Spells, and that is why you need to Google people, because you don't want to just automatically lose game 1 to Oops All Spells when you have Counter Magic in your deck. All right, so we could ponder into a Thoughtseize for turn 2. Yeah, I'm going to do that, and then if I find a Thoughtseize, I'm going to keep it on top. I don't think these are good enough if they're on Oops All Spells. And I'm going to proceed with the presumption that they're on Oops All Spells. Okay. Until proven otherwise. So we're dead, basically. We can daze and we can potentially brainstorm and try to find a... okay, they're not on Oops All Spells. That's great. Great news. And the really great news is that I just shuffled away my incredible card that is like really powerful against this deck. They're on 8 cast. So I am going to counter this. This card is too powerful. Let's see if this baits a Force. I'd be stunned if they kept Force in their 5-card hand, but they may have. If they do, then we just have to find a Fatal Push and Bob's our uncle. But otherwise, they're going to have this Mishra's Bauble engine going. They're thinking about forcing. All right. Wow. Maybe they weren't thinking about forcing. Maybe they were just like, yeah, FML, which stands for Friday Night Magic. No, I don't remember what it stands for. Okay, let's go get our Goifon. Might as well get Badlands. If we get Badlands, we tell them that they're not going to get dazed. No, let's get an Underground Sea. I'm going to start beating them down. We've got a 3-4. Next turn, we can brainstorm into hopefully some Bowmaster action. This is one of those, unfortunately, we can't blow this up with, what's it called? They're going to see our top card. With Molten Collapse, it doesn't hit non-land, or it doesn't hit lands. Pernicious Deed would be able to blow this up if we were Black Splash, or Green Splash rather. And I do think there's probably not a very good argument for playing Pernicious. What? There's a 1-lander! Holy cow! We're so lucky. Okay, so we could just flip Tommy. I mean that seems kind of lame, but like they're not doing anything, and Tommy closes quickly. I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to go ahead and play the island out that they already know about. I'm going to Tommy, and then I'm just going to brainstorm. And change anything. What could we find? We couldn't find anything. I'm just going to do it. Like a Force. Okay, another Daze. Love it. This goes back by. This is going to go back. Scoop. Okay, wow. We got so lucky they mulled so heavily. Guess what we're bringing in? Meltdown! And Molten Collapse, because they have lots of targets for Molten Collapse. Cards that come out. I mean, now Spellbomb does hit their graveyard, and they do use it for just that one card. I'm taking out Daze for sure. They're a Stompy deck. They're going to be like accelerating past this very quickly. Thoughtseize is good against their deck, but they can do a ton of damage. I don't actually know that we want Thoughtseize in our deck because we're doing so much damage to ourselves with it. And they're potentially like, I kind of want to pull the Thoughtseize here. We could bring in a second Nile Spellbomb. Again, it feeds the Goyfs. Got to keep your Goyfs fed. It's fine. This is fine. And actually, this is like a matchup where the red splash really shines. Because like Molten Collapse is going to be so good against this deck. And Pyroblast, of course, their entire deck's blue. So, and Meltdown. Like, I'm really excited about this matchup. I can't think of any other changes to make. Let's run it. We could, because they don't go to our land, we could have cut the swamp probably. That would be like one more substitution we could make. This hand is not setting the world on fire, but it's fine. It's stable. And we do have a Force for like, if they have some critical turn 1 play, we can just build up our mana. If they get Emery online and we just have a Nile Spellbomb for it, it's fine. It's not that big of a deal. And a lot of times they'll put like a lot of resources like a Lotus Petal and stuff into Emery and we get it. Yeah, there we go. That is how we lose, but not if we find our Meltdown. This means they have Ancient Tomb, otherwise they wouldn't lead this way. That's fine. Bobble. I mean, it could be this is their only land. That's the other possible argument. But like almost always when they do this, they have some way to immediately use it. I'm not to use the bubble. Options. I think we just keep our Surveillant up and see what they do. We could brainstorm it into more interaction, but we don't actually have anything other than just the force here. They are looking at our top card, so we can shuffle that away. We almost certainly will. They're getting information about our deck, but they're not going to get information about our hand because I'm going to fetch a Surveillant in step. It's noteworthy that they can get Pithing Needle off of this. I doubt it's in their deck because we don't have a lot of activated abilities in our deck. There's the Ancient Tomb that I foresaw. Chalice for 1. I'm going to force this. I don't want to deal with this. My kids are home from school on Friday afternoon. They're already arguing. We only let them play video games on the weekend. So Friday night they get their video games and they immediately get overstimulated. My son starts like doing crazy stuff with his Mario games. They did tap out of Saga for that. That's quite good for us. So that force was pretty clutch. And now we're shuffling with a card they know about. So that's one less piece of information they have. Undercity Sewer. Let's see what we find. I would love to have a Bowmaster. Kaito. I don't think Kaito's where we want to be, but he is above average. But if we put him into our graveyard, how good is Kaito against their deck? He's not exceptional. I think we bin him because he makes all our stuff bigger. Yeah, and we try to, like, I can brainstorm and get better cards than that, like, for this point in time. And case in point, like, I need to get some of these lands put back. I'm going to play this out just in case they have, like, I mean, we're definitely fetching and getting rid of some of these. So Netherglyph would be insane here. Oh my goodness, you're killing me, deck. Unfortunately, I already played out the land, so I'm not going to be able to waste. But yeah, I think that was a punt. I should have just, because I need to shuffle away some of these lands. Let's face it, these lands are terrible. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Okay, and now I'm just going to go ahead and get like a red source, I guess. I'll get a Volk. This is nice though. I just wish I didn't draw like 7 lands there. Like this game, I think we've drawn like 7 lands or something like that. A lot of land. So now we don't even care if they chalice. We can just bounce it and then force it on the way back down. But not really. I'm going to let them needle this if they want to do a 1-for-1 on that. I don't think they are. I think they're probably going to get a Mox Opal. Maybe a Lotus Petal, but probably Mox Opal. Yep. They have a ton of mana. They could do the Blastoise. Okay. 3 cards left. They have played a lot of accelerants and not a lot of spells. They could have like Thought Monitor here. They could have a lot of scary stuff. Thoughtcast, yeah, that counts. This is why we need our Bowmaster. Meltdown would be great. It would hit their land as well. Please draw a Meltdown. Oh my goodness, this Meltdown would be so great. We would be able to Meltdown for 2. Memory Guardian. Okay, we're in trouble, folks. This is like the beatdown. They've got 2 cards left in their hand. Patchwork is growing very rapidly. I am a simple man. I only want like a few things in life. One of them being Meltdown. What? Another one? Holy cow. And unfortunately, Meltdown's not going to save us from these flip Delvers. Okay, we're in like serious trouble, but they're not attacking yet. So let's think about what we could draw that could save us here. Barrowglyph. Barrowglyph's quite good. Meltdown is still good, though. I would definitely cast a Meltdown. Should my deck be so kind as to give me it? Okay, Barrowglyph is fine. I'm not going to complain about Barrowglyph. However, they can bounce it back to hand, attack in, and we're still dead. This said, it is absolutely our best option here. Like, we force them to use it. They use it. We recast it. I think we're dead. Let's see. We're going to take 10. That's a lot. Yeah, there's nothing we can do about this. I'm going to Barrow. The good news is, like, okay, so they will have to attack back in a second time. And they can only attack so much in the air. This is a 6-7. So they bounce this turn. Then we recast it. And they can't attack with this. They can only attack with this. Then we attack in. We get a bunch of life. And we kind of like survive, hopefully. That's like the dream. But yeah, like we're very screwed. And if they just have more stuff to pump this up, it's even worse. Chalice for 1. At this point, it's just, yet another problematic card. So they bounce this and then we're dead. Because they hit for 11 and then they hit for 6 next turn. I don't think there's a path forward. There's no way we can deal with that much pressure. Even Meltdown wouldn't save us now. They saw the line. I mean, it was pretty obvious, but like I miss things like that all the time. Like, oh, what do I do? What do I do? Oh yeah, we got this. Yeah, we take 11, drop to 6. If only we had Lava Sport Boots in our deck. It still wouldn't be enough. So we Fatal Push, we pay for it, we're still dead. Yeah, good game. Okay, cool. It happens. Like, they were on the play. We drew a ton of land. I'm going to keep the deck exactly the same. Is that true? I'm going to take out a Swamp, and I'm going to bring in a Daze. These now Spellbombs did feel kind of stinky. Like, they didn't do anything this game. Maybe we put the Dazes in instead. Also, those are cards that, get stopped by Chalice of the Void. Yeah, I'll do this. I don't expect them to have Wasteland. I think, played against like 1 or 2 8-cast players who have Wasteland in their deck, and it's surprising. But, yeah, I think it'll be fine. This is a deck where we could bring in Harbinger, but I'm not convinced that Harbinger is good. It doesn't erase the artifact subtype on the lands. It just makes Urza Saga a little awkward and potentially kills it. It's not worth bringing in. Like, their deck piles on so much pressure so quickly that we really just need... Yeah, I do think Kaito's good here, because Kaito could... Like, let's say hypothetically we actually had an attacker that ever actually successfully attacked. Then maybe Kaito could have come in and stunned one of those flyers and then been essentially the sacrificial lamb while we're surviving for a couple turns to get more barrel glyphs out. I think he's a net positive. This is a Tamio flip hand. They don't have a lot of answers to flip Tamio. I'm going to go for this. So we're just going to get Underground Sea, and then we're going to get probably like a Volk on the second one. Opponent's on 7, so they're going to have 8. So it's going to be scary time during their turn. We're going to have to clinch to see how many cards they have. But we do have interaction if we need it. Definitely want to attack in with Tamio before I flip her, but I am going to flip her. Like, I don't think you wait around in this matchup. Like, this is not like one of those, I'll just take my time and build up clues type matchups. It's not like you're playing against Jeskai control. Ancient Tomb. Chalice will get dazed. Yeah, I'm going to daze that. Not going to think twice. Let's just shut off probably 20 plus cards on our deck. Chalice is very good against this. Bowmaster is a great rip. Come in for a hug. And then we're just going to brainstorm. We're going to get an imperfect brainstorm because of the days, but it's okay. We will be ticking up. They will be able to potentially null rod us. I'll force that they force, because that'll tell me that they really don't want this to resolve. Okay, this is pretty phenomenal. So by putting in Netherglyph on top, we're mitigating downside risk. Bowmaster is just so insane. We definitely want it. I don't need this land, though. I'm going to put that, and then I'm going to go like this. And then we're just going to play off 2 land for the game. That does mean it'll be a little harder for us to crack this clue, but it's okay. Cards that I'll force. Blastoise. I will force Follow-Up Chalice. I'm actually not sure if I force Follow-Up Chalice now. We do have another Glyph on top, so maybe that's rationale for forcing it. I think Patchwork Automaton can get big enough, fast enough that we do want to force that. So we're going to be looking for a Wasteland here. Another one. I'm going to let it through. No, actually, Netherglyph is big enough that he can go toe-to-toe with this. With these. And hold down the fort. And this reduces the number of artifacts. Yeah, I'm going to do it. And we're not going to cast Netherglyph for a turn or 2. So if they have another Chalice, that's a bummer. I am just going to play out my Tarn and chill with my grip. And we're going to end step Bowmasters them. Plus here. I don't know how they get rid of this. They may not have anything. They're going to be able to get a Needle, but that's 2 turns from now. I'm going to get a Badlands instead of a Volk now, since I've got so much black in my hand. I don't want black to be the limiting factor. Okay, so they've got this going. So actually, this will go up to level 3, and they can get a Pithing Needle to stop this. We do have answers to Pithing Needle in the form of Molten Collapse and Brazen Borrower. Now, I kind of want to take the... This is a bummer. I'm going to go ahead and get this down. And then next turn, I'll just get the... I think we want to be on the board with the Bowmaster, sadly. I'm going to fetch. I didn't expect them to have Wasteland. I mentioned that earlier, that they could have Wasteland. But generally, they don't have Wasteland. So I think Badlands is the take here. And now... They may be worried about Daze, because I could Daze this back to my hand, but I actually don't have Daze in my hand. Okay, so we're in. We poke here. They can create their construct without having to worry about me poking it. I shuffled away a basic, another Underground Sea, sadly. I do stand by that play, because Netherglyph's going to come in and help us hold the fort. We've got a Chumper. They're going to... If they have what's it called in the deck? What's the card that Shadow Spear? That can gain some life and trample over. I don't believe you bring in... I just refuse to believe that my opponent is going to have Pithing Needle in the deck right now. Just for Tommy? That seems ridiculous. But if they do, they got me. Better lucky than good, friends. This is an insane rip. Now we have all 3 colors. It's going to plus. I'm not going to attack into this. I'm just going to chill by my time. Maybe they get complacent, pop the bauble, and then we can Bowmaster it. So here comes the first one. I can attack with this, and then if they make it, I can just ping. I think that's fine. I'm not going to attack with this. Okay, they don't do anything. That's good. So we get a damage. Actually, I think I just made a mistake because now they could attack Tommy. Yeah, I think that was a punt. It's not going to be huge, but it is. Like now I would have to block with Bowmaster. I probably just let it through. We'll see if they have the Pithing Needle. If they have the Pithing Needle, then that's a problem. Yeah, that resolves. Come on, you know what? You want to crack that bubble. All right, they're not going to. They still have 5 cards in hand, so I don't blame them for not doing that. Okay, so they're going ahead and making another one. They'll see what they get. They're low in life. I think I'm just going to beat them down, and I'm going to hope that they attack in. Do you have the needle? If they have Lava Spur Boots, they can potentially kill Tommy, but again, I don't care. Like I'm going to be gunning for their life. They haven't found any blue mana this entire game, which I think is probably gating them. They might get a Petal or a Mox. But like a lot of their blue spells are kind of shut off by Orcish Bowmaster right now. This is intense, and it doesn't need to be intense. Like I didn't need to attack with this. Holding this up as a blocker, I could block and then I could just replace it, and that would simplify things dramatically. Just a couple more comments. My opponents had this search trigger on this deck for like 3 minutes. Okay. They said, I am here. I just test my connection and they said, I am here. If they attack, yeah, I definitely would just sacrifice a Bowmaster if that means I can draw half my deck. I don't think that's like too hard of a decision. Said, sorry, slow playing Noodle Legacy. So welcome to the format, no rush. So I think what they're probably just trying to decide between, like they may not have another land. They did play out 3 lands in a row. But if they don't have another land, then they can't necessarily get the Lava Spur Boots, which would be the most powerful thing here because they could do the max damage to Tamiyo. They don't know that I have another Bowmasters. I mean, I would just, they may suspect that I have another Bowmaster because the way I tap, but I could just be holding up an end step clue. The other thing that might be going through their head is, okay, why didn't I put a needle in my deck? But I think you take needle out 100% against Tempo. Like this is very rare that this sort of thing, they're a stompy deck. Like the fact that our Tamiyo is at 8 loyalty is a miracle. The other thing they could be thinking is just like making some more convoluted line around like, okay, I can Emery and do XYZ, none of which will really matter if I draw half my deck. I'm confident that with half my deck, I can win because I'm going to be drawing like Pyroblast and Meltdown. There's a 50% chance I draw Meltdown. They don't know that, but Meltdown would just decimate their board. Okay, they did get the Lava Spur. They do have the land. Okay, I'm just going to double block. And I do feel really dumb for attacking with this because this could absolutely, like, I'm going to have to lose both my Bowmasters here. If they have a force, they can do lethal damage to her. Or not lethal, but a lot. Yeah, so I'll let that happen. I want to keep her alive. If they have force here, that's GG probably. Because I really need to draw. So they get debuffed. I feel so dumb for attacking with this orc. I cannot tell you how dumb I feel. Like I was hoping that they fall for it and that like I get a free lunch with the Bowmaster. I mean, they're low enough. Like they're going from, I don't think that I'm going to be able to beat these. So yeah, sadly, we're just going to have to double block. It's worth it to Tamiyo Ultimate. This didn't get forced. Okay. So to draw. Let's go ahead and do this. Are they even going to let us see what we would have drawn or are they going to scoop? Okay. We did get the Meltdown. That's nice. So here's what I think we do. We have a Bowmasters. We could Meltdown for 0. They probably crack this, then we just bring in the Bowmaster. They can't tap their land. They lose this land. How many forces do we have? I have a Daze, so that's like basically a force. Yeah, and I do actually have a force. Do I want to do for 1 and take this? I don't think it was worth it. Yeah, I'm going to do this, and then they're probably going to crack the bobble, and then I can just flash in the Bowmasters. I'm going to lose this, but that's it. I think that's fine. So they lose 4 permanents, effectively. All right, they did crack the bobble. Everything else dies. Tamio is an insane Magic card. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Let's just go ahead and put our Bowmaster in. We did draw Bowmaster, right? I'm not hallucinating. Yeah, there it is. Black, blue, Bowmaster. So they're gonna take a ping. Their only mana source is gonna hurt them. This game is so over, it's not even funny. Wow, that felt great. I'm so glad I captured that. That was a perfect kind of swingy, protect the queen thing. Even though I punted with attacking with the thing. I mean, like, you can kind of see where I was going for, like, but they were too smart. They didn't go for that. They just sense a rat. Why would they attack with that? So kudos to my opponent, and hope they stick with Legacy. See you in round 3. Round 3, we've been paired against Maxtortion, a player whom I have a tremendous amount of respect for. They're on the play. I think this hand's fine. This has early game stuff. I think we just keep sticking Tamios. We have no idea what they're on. They play just a broad variety of decks. Almost all blue. Yeah, I think we just go Tommy here. And we have a backup one. We probably don't want to force them. We'll see. If they're on a combo, then we'll be happy we have this force. They have done like blue-black reanimator. Okay, there's the waste. That's fine. You want to waste into an active Tamio, you have to get rid of the Tamio too. Okay, they have the card to get rid of the Tamio as well. So prismatic ending here. That's fine. Interesting. So prismatic ending in a blue-white deck. They could be on, I don't know. We could Nethergoyf here and then maybe draw. I don't want to get this wasted. Okay, so my thinking is we Nethergoyf here. And then next turn, if we draw a blue source, we can have Tamio and Brainstorm up. And Daze Protection on it. Yeah, I'm going to play this Nethergoyf. So a lot of non-tempo decks also play Wasteland because it's very good in control. And that could be what's happening here. Or we could be up against like tokens or their own Tommy. Okay, well that does block Nethergoyf. They're going to immediately flip her. I think that's fine. I think I can apply sufficient pressure. I do have my Molten Collapse in the deck to deal with her, and I have my Brazen Borrower. So they're getting like a 0 value Tommy, basically, assuming that I can beat her down. But I am going to be distracted by her. Your opponent drawing half of their deck is a very distracting proposition. Okay, so I think what we do here is we just ponder, see if we can find a Thoughtseize. That would be like the dream. I am going to be able to knock one loyalty off her. Okay, I think these are okay. They're not great. But again, like I do... Yeah, I'll keep it like this. I'll just take this land. So now I'm just going to attack Tommy for 1 loyalty. Not very impressive, but it does keep them from regrowing the prismatic ending that they can use to end this. And if they end it, that's okay. But it does mean I don't have any pressure on Tommy. Next turn, I can make her stronger. Make Nethergoyf stronger. So you can hit Tommy harder. Okay, yeah, and I'm glad I kept the... Yeah, this is the second waste. Do they also have an answer? I'll probably have to force this. I think I have to force this. If they daze, it's really bad. It is really, really bad if they daze this. But I don't think we have a choice. Like, I need to keep pressure on Tommy now. Okay, that worked. So they did get the 2-for-1. They did plus here. We do have an instant in the graveyard, so we are going to be hitting for 2 and keeping her at, what I like to say, homeostasis. We can surveil here, or we could just ponder immediately. We know there's a delta on top, which we do want to draw. So I'm kind of tempted to just attack and pass, but that gives them an entire turn to advance our game state. They've wasted twice. We have no reason to suspect they have any Wasteland recursion. I am going to try to find a Thoughtseize. I can just get my island here, so I don't have to worry if they do get a third Wasteland, because that would be bad. Okay, this is pretty fantastic. We can put Force in hand. Then we've got Barragoyf, and Barragoyf can't be cast yet, but so I'll put him on the bottom just in case I get a chance to like shuffle him away. Bowmasters for next turn, Force for this turn. Now we have an answer to Tommy Ultimate, but we can't let our opponent know that, so we do have to keep attacking Tommy. We have Daze Protected, Force, or Fatal Push. Okay, they plus again. End for turn. Is this stock up? This is Merc. I think I have to force Merc, sadly. I'm not set to beat Merc. Okay, and it does work. So now we're just going to come in and we're going to gradually take all the loyalty off Tamio. It'll take a few turns. I do have a Bowmasters that can help with that? Huh. If they force this, they may not actually be playing black. I'm going to try this because if they counter it, I do want to do more damage to Tamiyo. Take that off too. Okay, and that effectively locks out some of their cantrip potential. But like we're just sitting here. We have a Barragoyf on top of our deck that does nothing. Okay, they're just surveilling. Probably surveilling like a cantrip into the yard. Yeah, perfect surveil. Maxtortion is a really good player, and they're a good brewer too. Okay, so they can put Prismatic Ending on top. They can go after, but that is next turn. Unless they want to cantrip now. Okay, stock up. So now they can Prismatic Ending this turn. And then they can plus, and then we have no pressure on Tamiyo anymore. Pretty strong. Yeah, that's like a really strong sequence. Okay, and I can't bring this back, and we are just sitting here doing nothing while Tamiyo takes up. Barragoyf is at least 2 draw steps away. I think the Fatal Pushes absolutely come out in this matchup. They seem to just be like a big control deck, like a big Murktide tempo deck. Yeah, Tommy's going to be able to win. They're not going to be able to ultimate her, but if they remove this, they can. Daze doesn't really help. We're just, yeah, because like I'm trying to imagine a situation in which they can't remove and just win. They probably have lots of plows in their deck. Oh, yeah, they can just do that. But that does give us a turn where we can attack, at least. Yeah, this sucks, though. And I think, were we on the play? We had the initiative here. No, we were on the draw. Okay. So they are now dazing. Hopefully they play something that we can daze, and they just think, oh, there wouldn't be a late game daze, or hopefully they risk it, but they're too good of a player to do that. We really need a third land. Those double wastelands were really brutal. Okay. So we are going to be able to take 1 loyalty offer, which makes almost no difference in the grand scheme of things. Wow, that's a good draw. All right, I'm going to try to come in with this. I think there's a high likelihood this gets interacted with. There's the daze. I'm going to concede. I just don't think we're getting anywhere. I mean, yeah, that is backbreaking, though. And I don't think we had any choice. I'll keep playing this game out. I don't think we're under any time pressure here. So there are 2. They can't immediately regrow this Prismatic Ending, but they've gotten so much card advantage out of this card that I totally thought we could have managed. Oh, they have that? Okay, stock up's back on top. I don't see us winning this one. I'm trying to think of what we could draw here. Barragoyf, they already had the Prismatic Ending. Wait, they put the stock up, so that does go get Prismatic Ending. I'm going to brainstorm. I'm going to put these 2 Fatal Pushes back. I'm going to go ahead and ponder here. Fetch, ponder. Yeah, I don't think it's worth showing them we're on red when there's like, it's unlikely we actually draw the card. If I find a Thoughtseize, that could be okay, but they're still going to stock up. I mean, there's another Bowmaster. I don't want either of these. Yeah, I'll take the land. All right, so that's the land for next turn. There's no point in attacking Tommy. So we just have to keep Bowmastering. They plow, that's fine. There's a stock up. This is the second time they've used Mystic Sanctuary. They keep recurring cards from their graveyard, so they're up so many cards on us. And you definitely feel it. Okay, Tommy was very close to ultimating. I think it's extremely unlikely that we're able to just Bowmaster in response to them ultimating, and it could try for that. They may just regrow plow here and take their time if we Barragoyf, but I think it's fine a Barragoyf. I mean, like, yeah, I just think we're never going to win this game. I probably should have conceded. We do have Surveil. There's the plow. I don't think that was a known card. Tommy goes to 8. I'm going to Undercity Sewer here. If they have a force in their hand, they can hardcast it next turn. When they Bowmaster, I'll Surveil. If I get double Bowmasters, that could work. It's like really our only out. And we've already used all but one of our Bowmasters. So Bowmaster or bust here. I don't think this works anymore. I'll graveyard it because I can bring it back later. Not next turn. Next turn I have to try the Bowmaster play. This is fine to... We could Bowmaster and bring it back and then daze. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do that. I have to show my freaking true colors here. Yeah, I'll do it. And you may be saying like literally your only chance. There's no way. And they're like, well, you wouldn't keep playing unless you had a Bowmasters. There's nothing we can do to stop this. They will definitely not... They'll not use it. They're just trying to bait this out. So they get a perfect shuffle. They have Pyroblast now. So they are on Jeskai. It might be an extremely light splash for Jeskai. So this doesn't matter. They're just going to count. Yeah, I mean, that was total domination. Brought to you by Tamio. Like, the entire game was all about her being flipped immediately on turn 2. And I do think it's probably usually wrong. But I probably should have conceded when it became clear that we were going to have to fetch like the Badlands out, because I did give them some information. I don't think Merc is that big of a deal, but we could play 2 of these. Oh, we're going to take out all the Fatal Pushes, I think. I genuinely think that it's just... I'd be stunned if they have anything in there worth pushing. They're like basically probably on like some number of like maybe 3 Bowmasters and 4 Tamios would be my estimation of their creature suite. Daze is good against them. They do have wastable lands. Bearwave's pretty bad against the Plow deck, but I don't know. I feel like we need answers. They're not only a Plow deck, but they're also a Daze deck. I think what we do is we go like this, and then our density of threat is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 essentially, and then Tamio. Yeah, I think I'll do this without the Barrows. That could be a mistake. I think we need to go tempo this game. And then next turn, maybe we bring... Next game, maybe... This is a pretty good hand. I think I am going to open... Nethergoy... I think I open Tamio here. Hope they don't waste me. And I can... Just like previous game, I can Tamio a second time if I need to. But if they just have the heads-up wasteland... Usually you don't want to waste into a Tamio, but like if they do it, like it's really strong. There's their Tamio. Okay, I'm going to let it happen. I'm not going to daze that because they could daze back. I think here we just go ahead and attack, create our clue, and pass with Bowmaster and daze up. That's fine. We definitely just telegraphed that we had Bowmaster, but they don't know that we also have daze. So if they brainstorm here, I probably will Bowmaster. Yeah, I'm going to let them do that. Cori-Steel Cutter, interesting. Well, I think we just daze here, and then we can crack the clue. We could waste them off red here. So they can't crack their clues. I think I'm going to waste, and I'm going to Nethergoy here. And we're just going to continue to try to abuse the fact that we're a tempo deck on the play. Got plenty of lands in our hand. Maxtortion is one of the best players on Earth, basically, like legacy-wise. He routinely wins major tournaments, legacy challenges, things like that. Okay, so he did not have a second land, or he's just playing it after main phase. This brainstorm is fine. This may very well find a land. We do have pressure for Tamio. I already burned my days on the Cori, and it could be that he just fed me that because he's like, well, this will get the days out of his hand so I can brainstorm next turn. Maybe this was his plan all along. There's the land. Okay, and now this is like a prismatic ending on my Nethergoy, so I can't pressure. A Plow. Yeah, that's good. Okay. So just like that, we are really far behind. I mean, it's crazy, but like he's a very strong player. Plow's a good card against us. What can we do here? There's a decent chance. Like, I think finding Pyroblast is probably the best thing we can do. They've already seen the Underground Sea. I think I'm just going to go ahead and start with this. Could find a Wasteland or a Thoughtseize as well. There's the Thoughtseize and Molten Collapse. So we clear the path with Thoughtseize this turn, and the next turn we Molten Collapse. Yeah, I like that. And I don't think we're likely going to be able to descend, but I don't think it matters that much. We could kill this and that, for example. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and just do this. Okay, and I think we just take Ponder here. Stock Up like taps them out. That'll also make them think that we have a daze. Then we're guaranteed to be able to kill Tommy next turn. Well, Stock Up could dig for force. I think we actually take the Stock Up here. It does telegraph that we don't have the daze. So if Molten Collapse doesn't work for some reason, we do still have Bowmasters. They don't currently have removal. They might minus to get removal if they don't think that their Tommy is going to live. They have a backup Tommy. They have blue card force. So they have... Okay, this is Pyro too. This could be Hydroblast. Just cracking a clue. Okay. Doing it during our turn for some reason. Probably because we have a Bowmasters in hand. Okay, so... I think we just go ahead and try to kill her. Do you have the force? Okay. That is a big relief. They got no value off that. They didn't get any... Well, actually, they got 2 clues off of it. So it's not no value. Right. And now we're just chilling and hoping that we can draw better than them. We've lost most of our tempo. They have tons of mana now. Next turn, they could... okay, they probably found Stock Up. Yep, that's a powerful card against us. It's just a guaranteed 2-for-1 plus really powerful selection. Okay, there's the Pyro. They thought about pyroing. Okay, they opted to play their own Tommy instead. That's fine. So now no known cards in their 4-card hand, which is scary. Okay, so options. One, I think we could just double crack clues and flipper. They probably have prismatic ending, but they may not have it. I'm going to go ahead and do that. And I definitely could have, but because I'm planning to crack both of these clues, I think it's better to just, I guess I could have cracked one clue before combat. Okay, force is great. I am going to go ahead and crack this other clue. This taps us out completely, but it does flip. And we've gotten plenty of value out of Tommy. And now Planeswalker, we have Force to Protector, but our opponent's probably not playing Daze on the draw. So I think we probably are safe to use Force to Protector. If this is, Narset, I think we do kill this. I'm going to pitch the Brainstorm just in case they do have a Force to Protector. I'll be so tilted if they have Daze on the draw. This is a Pyro. That's fine. They're getting a 2-for-1, but we do have a Bowmaster here. Yeah. Oh, they opted to do that instead? Okay. Well, we got a lot of value out of that Tommy. Okay, Ponder. I mean, I could just flip another Tommy real quick, but I'm not sure that that's correct. Yeah, I could Tommy and Flipper in the same turn cycle, but I wouldn't be holding up this anymore. I think I should have probably not done what I just did. Molten Collapse would be good. Second Bowmasters is fine. I think we just plan to jam a bunch of Bowmasters here. I don't want that. I don't really want Force at this stage. I'm going to take the... And then we can just play her out, and then we have Bowmasters 2 turns in a row. And they may plow or do something, but like we're getting clues again, unless they deal with her. I don't think they would attempt to Brainstorm or anything without... Okay, Mystic Sanctuary gets back a Pyroblast. Okay. Now, if they go for like a Brainstorm or something, I am going to Bowmaster. I will preordain here. They do have the interaction. Clue token. Okay. So they're going to flip the Tommy here, is their plan. They have Counterspell? What is that? Okay, so this is in, and now they're probably just going to remove it. So they draw for this. They have Pyro. Okay, so Tommy flips. End step, I will Surveil. They're going to kill our Tommy. That's fine. We have lots of answers to flip Tommy. This is not what we're looking for. Okay, so I think the first things first, I want to just kill this. And this way we keep up the option of drawing more cards. Yeah, so I'll hit that. Now I'm going to knock her down to 1 loyalty. I mean, yeah. And then I think I am going to clear their graveyard. They do use it. We drew a land. Oh, I should have played that out. Maybe I hold it for a Brainstorm. I don't know. Okay, stock up. This card's pretty terrible at this point. We don't have a way to shuffle it away without playing it out, so there was no practical reason why I wouldn't play it out there. I don't think we played a land for turn. Yeah, we did not play a land for turn last turn. With the clues out, it's probably fine to play. So I imagine they've got some number of removal spells in their hand now for our orcs. They might get rid of the actual army. Okay, they're passing to our turn. Okay, Borrower is another thing we can do to get rid of it. I'm going to go ahead and start by playing this land out, and then I'm going to draw. Okay, Nethergoyf. I think we just go to combat and we attack Tommy with this. I mean, there is a small chance that I could draw another Bowmaster. It's very small. So I'm not tapping out of black completely here. I think I'm going to... Wait, do I still have an Underground Sea in my deck? I don't have a basic swamp that I can't fetch. Yeah, I think I screwed up here because I could have stuck a Nethergoyf. So it's 1, 2... I still have an Underground Sea. I'm going to go get it. I know this is like kind of like janky to do this. I want to get all the pressure I can on the board. It's a 5/6. This can't beat a Merc, but they don't have a Merc coming soon, as far as I can tell. They have a lot of targets if they want. Yeah, that's fine. I will attack her with everything, unfortunately. Do they have... Oh, this Cori-Steel? Yeah, that's fine. They can create a construct or a token with it. Yeah. And then I can just bounce that out of the way with Brazen Borrower if I want to. Okay, I'm going to start with a Ponder. Hydroblast is pretty good. Or Pyroblast, rather. I don't want the other cards, though. Just Pyro this. Get it out of the way, and then we get bounce. And I am kind of worried about my clock is one of the reasons. Oh, they're forcing that? Interesting. Okay. Both Nethergoyf and Orc Army. And I'm fine with... Oh, this gets debuffed. This gets debuffed so they can kill that, but they'll lose their Tommy. Unless they have a plow. If they have a plow, the game's over. Okay, so they're going to kill this. That's fine. And Tommy dies? Okay. Now, I will accept that. I don't think it's catastrophic. We should have won a long time ago, but I think I'm playing suboptimally. This might be another stock up. This is a Merc. No, yeah, it could be a Merc. Mark's not going to be that big, though. They're just keeping one of the cards in the graveyard. They can double block and kill our Nethergoyf, but we can bring it back. We do already have a Nile Spellbomb in our graveyard. I'm just going to attack. We're going to win this race if they let us through. That's fine. Go ahead and do this. And then, yeah, like I'm not worried about losing this race. We're drawing a land, which is terrible. That we don't even have a land in our deck, but I just want to 6 through their turn. Is something to do, unfortunately. Like they're just going to attack for 6 here. That's fine. Again, I think we are going to win the race. Okay. So this is big enough that it can stop me. So we attack with everything. We Kaito, we stun this, and then I think we win. They probably block one of these now. And I am going to go ahead and just play this out. They have a brainstorm. They can use it right now. But they're going to be able to crack both these clues. Or they force that. I will be stunned if they can win this game, but they may be able to. They're like an incredible player. And I don't have high hopes of winning the next game, by the way. They do potentially have like Cori attacking this. And okay, that's the first spell. Do they have another spell to... Yeah. Okay, I think they're going to win this because they're going to take out the freaking... Yeah, that's brutal. Yeah, I don't know that it was correct. Like, I guess I could have played this out. Just paid mana to tap. I think that was actually the play. Yeah. Sorry, my excellent friends. Not beating Maxtortion today, it doesn't look like. I'm trying to think of what I could even draw here. Like, I boarded out my Barragoyfs. Yeah, and Maxtortion is explaining... Like, Maxtortion did have the force. He used the force on the thing. So had I Kaito'd, he would have probably just forced that. And he would have been attacking me. So it wouldn't have made a huge difference in the outcome. I mean, he knew. Like, I was definitely telegraphing that I had Kaito when I was attacking. Because I didn't have lethal strike. Yeah, they're saying that I should still consider the plan. Okay, cool. I think this is only my like second or third time playing him. He's really strong. All right, see you in round 4. All right, so in retrospect, just a quick note about the previous round. Let's say like I did play at the Kaito. He forces this. He still needs 2 removal spells to clear my Bowmaster. So I do think that the correct play, even with the risk, was probably to just cast out and not attack that turn and then attempt a stun, which would have failed. And then we would have just sat there in a stalemate for a while. But it was a stalemate that I was probably winning. I'm not sure. But like my clock was factoring in because I play a lot slower than he does because he's extremely experienced. Okay, so we're up against young Justin. Big fan of the content. All right. I like to call my content art, not content. No, I'm not going to be a pinkies up type drinking my tea. Okay, so this is a... Let's see what he's likely on. Young Justin. He's with young Neil from Scott Pilgrim versus the World. Okay, so he's likely Delver player. This is from like a few days ago. So, yeah. I mean, if he's on this list, it's pretty scary. Another Cori matchup. Cori's definitely a powerful card. This does have basic swamp with like several things we could do. I kind of like he's mulliganing. I think I want to keep this and just jam Nethergoyfs a bunch. That might be loose. If we find another land, which we do have 19 or 18 more lands in our 53 card deck. He's mulling to 5. Okay. So he could be on a different deck. But if he's new to Legacy, like it looks like he's got 2 finishes, 2 5-0s within just like 3 weeks. So he's very strong, even though he's new. He mulled to 4. Okay. So we are definitely going to Thoughtseize here and see what's going on over there. Island. Delver. Okay. So he's on a Delver strategy, but I'm not going to be phased. If I take the interaction spell, then my Goyfs can potentially race that. We did not. This will be really good if we get the mana. There is certainly a risk. No, I'm going to get the swamp. I'm going to be conservative here because it is a Delver deck. Like, I doubt that he has a wasteland just because he mulled so deep. He probably needed to put back everything but 1 land. Okay, so we would have been okay, most likely. I am going to take the Brainstorm. I'm not going to take the Force because if he wants to 2-for-1 himself in this matchup, that's fine. I did just do extra damage to myself Thoughtseizing. I'm well aware of that, but it does make Nethergoyf bigger. So he could Brainstorm upkeep if he wants to aggro flip this. But he doesn't know that I don't have more lands. Like, as far as he knows, I've got 6 lands and I've already got a basic that can't be wasted. Okay, so he did not flip any card, and we can Bowmaster, which will basically force a 2-for-1. He may Brainstorm proactively to try to find a second land, but he doesn't. Okay, So I'm just going to jam another Goyf here, and we're going to pass. We're not racing this, but with the second Nether Goyf, we may come to race it if he whiffs again. He may aggro Brainstorm here. He is. Okay, so he should be able to, and again, I'm using the name like he because it's young Justin. I've never met any women named Justin. Although there is Justine, who caused quite a controversy with a tweet a while back. Wow, he didn't flip? What the heck? Okay, so we're going to come in for a hug, and then we're just going to drop another Goyf, and he might actually have to force this Goyf. I think he got an exceptional, he's experiencing like otherworldly bad luck. So F's in the chat for Justin. There's the days. Okay, that's a good play. I mean, like, we're both screwed on mana. I can bring this back later, but now I've got a 3/4. So even if he flips the Delver, like I'm kind of pod racing. All right. Unholy Heat. So known cards, Unholy Heat and Force. We're taking 3 here. Unholy Heat will deal with this once he has Delirium, which is like 2 turns from now. Do we just go through this? I think we do, because it ups the race. It sucks to do this, yeah. But I want to clear their graveyard and hit them. Really. We are now winning the race, I believe. Wait. They have to hit us 4 times? 5 times? We only have to hit them 4 times. So yeah, we're winning the race. Unless they're able to Unholy Heat this, which is going to be hard to do. Bolts won't answer this. But they could, like a bolt on top of 3 swings could. So they, yeah. Man, this is a crazy low resource scrap. Ponder, that's going to break it open if you can find a second land, especially like an Unholy Heat. What? What? How many lands are you playing in your deck? That's freaking phenomenal bad luck. Okay, and we broke out of it. So let's think about what we want to do now that we've got this embarrassment of riches in the form. I think we want to go ahead and... Does Tomio even matter here? Tomio sets up Kaito. If we Bowmaster and they force it, that does... Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and just Island Brainstorm just to immediately up our clock. And then hopefully we find another... Yeah, I'm going to do Island here. I'm not crazy. Let's Brainstorm. We do have Tommy. Actually, we could play a Tommy as a potential chumper. I mean, I'm going to be so embarrassed if I lose this game somehow. No, I'm just going to try to find another Goyf number 4. Okay, these Wastelands are potentially good. Days is really good. Let's just put these Wastelands back. And we can just draw them, 2 consecutive turns. I don't see how we lose here, but it could happen. They still have that Force in hand. Okay, they have their own Wasteland, which looks a lot worse on their side of the table than it will on mine. Okay. So I think I want to force, or I want to waste here. Gosh, if they... Yeah, I need to waste, still very much die here. If I just throw out the Tommy as a chumper, and then I think I'm good. I'm going to waste. I want to keep them low resource. I've got another waste on top too. Petty Theft. Well, that would be a catastrophe if I didn't have this Daze. Oh, but they still have the freaking Force. Oh no. Tread Water. If they have a Daze back, it's so bad. Wait. Yeah, I think I just let this go. I let this go because I don't want them to get this back in hand. And then I just cast the Tommy, and then they force the... Man, what if they force it? I'm drawing Daze. Yeah, like, it doesn't matter. If they force it on the way back down, I can just Daze. Okay. Think like a tempo player. Be excellent. Okay, so no big deal. Check this out. I'm going to drop the Goyf first. That's the higher important spell. This is how we kill them. And then we just drop the Tommy to chump. We have Daze up if they force. I don't think they force this. They do have a Daze here. Daze back to nothing. I think we have to Daze here. They could force, but then they have to have Valk Bolt before we can Tommy again next turn. Yeah, actually, I think we just keep the Daze. Wait, are we winning the race? They're going to attack, and the next turn we have Tommy. Yeah, I think this is fine. Because we'll be able to Daze something next turn. And Tommy. Actually, we have a third land. We could just play out the Kaito and stun this. So we don't want to Daze this turn if we can avoid it. So I'm going to take this. I can't block. So I'm at 3. I'm in Bolt range. Okay. So they literally need Bolt to kill us. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set a stop in damage step. And then I can deal 5 damage and get Kaito in. They can Unholy Heat, but it won't be enough. And they can't force this. Stun. So we're still dead to Bolt, sadly. Next turn we do have Barragoyf, which can claw us back out. And that's probably better play than Nethergoyf. They can Unholy Heat this. They scoop. Wow, that was a much closer game than it felt like it should be. Okay, so Pyroblast comes in. I think Molten Collapse comes in because it can deal with Merc. I mean, we basically just want as much removal as possible. We want Hydroblast here for sure. Hester's great. Okay, so cards that come out. Thoughtseize, Daze, Force Will. I think strict upgrades to all our interaction spells. Yeah, I think everything else is fine. Kaito's not the greatest here. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. We got lots of interaction here. They're on like actual factual Blue-Red Delver. I think. Maybe they're on the... I didn't see a Trop or anything. They might... Oh, this hand is great. This hand's phenomenal. So what I'll do here is I'm going to fetch basics. Fetch a basic island, drop a spell bomb probably. There's a Delver. Bobble. So they can use that to try to flip their Delver ahead of schedule. Like increase the probability. Hydroblast is quite good. We do have the option of just going and getting double Underground Seas. I think I'm just going to get Island here. I don't want my curve to be interrupted. And I'm just going to play with the Spell Bomb and see if they daze that. Because that is a very good card against them. All right, cool. We're in. So next turn, we could, depending on how much stuff they put in their graveyard, we could do a lot. Barragoyf is going to be really insane. We just need to make sure that Barragoyf resolves. They don't have a lot of cards to kill Barragoyf. Barragoyf's one of the best cards against this deck. We got super lucky and they didn't flip this. Super duper ultra lucky. They have been getting some obscene luck. Like in terms of just like incredibly bad luck is what I mean there. Okay, so now we can't get the basic swamp here. I kind of do. Do I want to draw through this? No, I'm going to wait. Could bait out a Daze just to get it out of their hand. Make them think I don't have more lands. I have plenty of lands. I don't really care about this. They're thinking about dazing it, I think. Okay, yeah. This is Daze. Yeah, I didn't care that much about that. What I care about is carving a path for so I think I play this out, and then when they fetch, I can spell bomb, and that removes 4 cards. The other option is, I mean, I would like to have a red source, but so we can just pass through this phase. What are they casting at instant speed here? Seek the Beast. Well, that's actually really smart because I don't have the freaking land out to Hydroblast that. That's embarrassing. Yeah, I should have played the land before I passed phases. I just saw that land. I was like, oh, I should pass phases. Yeah, that was dumb. And they're going to profit from my dumbness. Okay, so they got 2 lands. They can use both of these things next turn. And then they'll have this thing that they can cast. But that does solve the mystery of whether they're on Questing Druid. So now I feel extremely dumb. I also feel like there's a pretty good chance that they could Delver next turn. So I'm going to play this out, and then I'm going to wait until they do something, and then I will Spellbomb them. Because they can't just, like, they'll have to put something on the stack. This does not flip again. That's very lucky for us. Wasteland would be annoying here. Okay, good. It's not Wasteland. There's the Bobble. If they crack this Bobble, I'll just hit their graveyard. I'm going to end step the graveyard hit. I don't want them to have a graveyard. And I want to make efficient use of my mana. Like, the whole point of the Bobbles is you just do, or the Spell Bombs is you just wipe their graveyard repeatedly throughout the matchup. Molten Collapse is pretty decent. It'll be good later. I want to save it for a Merc. I'm not going to Barragoyf quite yet. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just Tommy, and then I'll have both Hydroblast and Brainstorm up. They may Pyro this just to mitigate risk. Now the question becomes, okay, do I want to Hydro back? Well, they targeted their freaking land. Never mind. That was that's an unfortunate. Like, they don't have the luck to be making mistakes like that. That's a bummer. Okay, and that's the kind of mistake you don't make if you're a strong player, but you only make that if you're new to MTGO. Okay, so I'm just gonna pass. Next turn we have Daze Protective Barragoyf, and I doubt they have their forces in. Yeah, my heart goes out to them. Okay, so Bobble goes on the stack. We do have our Bowmasters in. I think they... Oh, did they know their top card? They did. So they knew that they wanted to draw first. Okay, and they did flip it, and they found Unholy Heat, which is a good card against Baragoi. Definitely worth knowing about. Okay, so we're on like turn 5, and they haven't done any real damage to me. They're finally doing some damage. They don't have the green source for this. If they do get the green source, I can just waste it and strand this. I think I'm going to surveil. No, I need a red source. I'm just not going to... I'm going to chill. I wouldn't mind drawing more land. That's a great draw. Just going to play the land. I'm going to slow roll this Baragoi. I could go ahead and flip Tommy this turn and just see if I can bait interaction. Because I do have the Hydroblast if they attempt a bolt. Okay, what is this? Brazen Borrower. I actually... Yeah, I could just Bowmaster this. So let's do that. And then I have Brainstorm on top of this if I really need to. This is really strong, by the way, what we just... Very powerful sequence from us. We get the clue. Okay, and I think now I just don't do anything. I just wait. Because I've got, like... They're going to do 3 damage here, but we have a lot of stuff going on our end. Baragoi will regain the life. Baragoi is a 5/6, still vulnerable to their Delirium Unholy Heat. Okay, this is fine. Molten Collapse does kill this if it gets big. DRC. Do you think I'm going to Hydro that? I don't want to deal with this. And if they Pyro, that's okay. I'm going to get the Valk here. Oh, they have an interaction spell. Unholy Heat. Oh, they're targeting my... What are they targeting? My Bowmaster. That's okay. Okay, I am going to stop the DRC though. And now I think we can safely cast the Baragoi. I'm going to get the Badlands here. No, I have to get the Valk. Let's get the Valk. Hydro. Yeah, like you don't let DRC live. That's the real card that, makes their deck. So we're going to take some damage here. But again, we're going to recoup it very quickly with Baragoi, assuming they do not have a second Unholy Heat. Baragoi is currently a 5/6, which is precisely the size that Unholy Heat can take it out. If I had a way of getting another type in the graveyard, that'd be so nice. Wait, is sorcery in the graveyard? I don't think there's sorcery in the graveyard yet. So we collapse this. I think we collapse. They're tapped out. I think I'm going to flip Tommy this turn and see what I find. I should Brainstorm here just in case I do find the card, Kaito, because that would be pretty strong. I did not find Kaito. I found a Baragoi, another Goif that's quite tall. I found a redundant land that I don't want. Molten Collapse deals with both of these. Okay, let's think about this. Maybe I put this back and I just draw this next turn. This turn, I want a Molten Collapse and Nethergoif. Yeah, and that takes care of the Delver. Okay, so we go to post-combat. Plus here. Play this out. I'm going to Molten Collapse. Oh, yeah, I can't play out the Nethergoif. No, wait, I can. Sorry. Red, black, collapse, cast. Let's kill the Delver. Okay. My excellent friends, I'm trying to tap this correctly. I'm cognizant of time because this absolutely can't go to time. Okay, and now we drop this. We're very far ahead. They're going to need to chain a lot of spells together if they want to be able to get this to kill my 5/6. They use an Unholy Heat on it. I could just bring it back. They could actually Unholy here and then kill Tamio, but Baragoi is really strong. I'm going to respond to this with waste on this because I don't want them to be able to cast this one out. They can float it. Oh, they can float it, but that means they may not be able to do their other stuff. Okay, they did float the mana. Yeah, that's unfortunate. If they get this in play, it's going to be a bummer. They got a Pyroblast and a Soul Guide Lantern. That's pretty good. Soul Guide Lantern is very good. So they could Soul Guide, but they can't do all 3, I don't think. They have to leave so they can cast this out, and then they could Pyroblast. I think that's probably what they're going to do. Yeah, that's dead. All right, that was an N for 1 with these clues. We do have the Mana of the Kraken. We'll eventually get to them. And then they just cast this out, and then this is huge, and I just double block it. Soul Guide Lantern. Okay, that's bad for us. That takes out our Tommy. I am kind of concerned. I am just going to block this with this token, I think. Because I can rebuild this Nethergoif. It'll take a few turns. So, yeah, I think... actually, if I block with the Nethergoif, they are forced to use the Soul Guide. I think I'm going to do that. Wait, this is a 4/5? Yeah, they have to do this to keep this alive. So now they're going to Soul Guide me. But that's okay. Like Nethergoyf is still going to be pretty big because they have 4 types in their graveyard. We could definitely lose this game. I felt really far ahead. They're not able to play this out for the rest of the game. They don't have a second green source. They've got 1 card in hand. We could just collapse this, and then we could draw a card. I think that's probably fine. I want to like keep Beargoyf. I want to see if I can get Beargoyf bigger. Black, red, collapse. I am a little bit worried. I'm just going to come in for a hug. I can bring back Nethergoyf because of like the way that I blocked. That was my intention, was to get Nethergoyf in there. So I guess there's no reason to. This is a great game. Like, this is fun. It's a fun matchup. They waste here. That's fine. They could waste this off red completely, which would really suck. We've only got these 2 red sources. They're opting instead to waste this off black, which is fine. Do you have the Merc? If you have the Merc, wasting us off red is actually better, even though it'll take several wastelands. You could draw a second wasteland. You could get us completely off red, like we wasted you completely off. Okay, there's the Merc that I was worried about. Now, Beargoyf can race Merc. Clue. Beargoyf cannot race Merc plus Bolt, though. They're hellbent. I think I'm going to go ahead and ponder first. Let's see. There's 6. I could find a Pyroblast, which would be better than just jamming this Barrow. Okay, there's the Pyro. I think I just Pyro here and keep the Borrower on top. Yeah, but we are going to Pyro here. We don't mess around with the Merc. And all these cards are good, thankfully. Get my damage in, too. Yeah. I think I screwed that up, because I want to be able to crack this clue. What were my top cards? Man, this is a Brainstorm. This only gets them 1 card deep. They don't have any real card advantage other than these things. They could find another Merc. There's a Ponder. Okay, so they're just spinning their wheels. They did like the cards, though. They could have shuffled. This might be like, I'm trying to think of what would be relevant against Bear. Unholy Heat, I thought was good. Yeah, Wasteland. It does allow us a Barrow here with Clue Crack at the end. We do have a Surveil land in our deck. I mean, there's like, it's unlikely, but we could, if they Unholy Heat, like Surveil a Kaito into our yard. We did it. Okay. Wow, that was a rough match, but like we're incredibly favored. This configuration with the Pyroblast and the Molten Collapse is so much better than traditional blue-black in this. So we're 3-1, losing only to Maxtortion, who just totally took us apart. Let's see how we can do in the final round. Final round, we're up against a likely Eldrazi player. Let's see, were they playing Eldrazi before the ban or after? That's always like something you want to check. Yeah, so they stopped playing Eldrazi. Like, no record of Eldrazi since the ban, so they may be off it. Okay. His hand's pretty good. I mean, we're a tempo deck. I like just Nethergoyf in the blind. Yeah, I think I'm going to Underground Sea Nethergoyf. We have like backup threats. The scariest thing they could do, probably just waste us and then we just ponder and find another land. So I don't think there's anything. Oh, they're mulliganing. Okay, so now I'm kind of thinking maybe we ponder to see if we can find a force and play it a little slower. Thoughtseize is really good if they don't win next turn. These Fatal Pushes are either great or terrible. I think I'm going to keep that Thoughtseize. And if we don't get comboed out, then I'll be able to shuffle that away. If we're in a Fair Mirror, we have an incredible hand. Like, Bowmasters are great against the fair decks of the world. Marsh Flats. Okay. If we're up against like a black-white deck, that's kind of scary. Oh, we may be in the mirror. Thoughtseize. Sure. They could be on a, like Doomsday is another deck that they could be playing. If they take our Brainstorm, I'm going to presume that they're on a fair deck. If they take our Thoughtseize, I'm going to presume they're on a combo deck. Because like I wouldn't care if my opponent Thoughtseized me here. If I was on a fair deck, like Thoughtseize is bad against decks like ours that just... Okay, so I think they're probably on a combo deck. There's the bubble. This doesn't give us a lot of additional information. I mean, it could just be like another Nethergoyf deck and they're playing bubble for utility. Yeah, I can't... Oh, wait, did they bobble themselves? I didn't see. It doesn't show us, unfortunately. You can draw a card. I am going to just play out the... Other option is just to jam a Bowmaster, but it could very easily get dazed. I think I'm just going to Nethergoyf and keep the... They waste this next turn. They shut off a lot of our deck. But we are playing a high land count. 19 lands. I won't say it's a high land count. A responsible land count. Like basically as low as you can go without flooding. Or without getting screwed or flooded. Drops. Okay, Nethergoyf. We're up against a fair gamer. And we have the Mirror Breaker here in our Fatal Push, which we're not going to be able to cast, unfortunately. All right, well, we can make Nethergoyf bigger than theirs. No, wait, we can't. All right, I'm going to wait till my turn and then I'm going to brainstorm. I just want to max looks for land. Wait, did we shuffle last turn? I think we did. We shuffled away a brainstorm or a fatal push. So I'm going to go ahead and brainstorm here. Looking for land. All right, we didn't hit weird, like really dead in the water here. I'm going to put these back because we can't cast them. I'll actually put this back and this back. And now we just chill and hope we can outrun their they're on like Murktide or something. We have two forms of interaction, but we have to sit still for several turns because they had the waste. Okay, this does do a lot here. If we force it though, then they suddenly have a bigger Nethergoyf and they can beat us down. I don't think this is the fight, sadly. We'll just hope to get Bowmaster online before they start getting... Okay. Why are you doing this? You have an instant? I guess if they have instant, we have instant in our graveyard already. So we have to respect the fact that they could just do an instant here. So maybe we should have forced this. I'm just going to take it. It sucks. I don't want to lose my Goyf. This does give us the ability to start hitting back, but I don't think it's going to matter. They are lower in life because of the Thoughtseize. I'm going to play a Tommy of my own, and if they daze this is okay. No reason not to attack. All right, so we're either going to force or daze this turn cycle, most likely. We have one more dead draw, and then we're back. I will block the Tommy just out of fear of Kaito, but like they could just, rip this back to their hand too. Man, I'm so envious of them having land here. I didn't have the option of fetching a basic, by the way. I think we played this sufficiently carefully. We were just getting punished. But leave a comment with a timestamp if you disagree with some of my plays here. All right, so they can get a 2-for-1 if we have to force something here. They can start drawing cards and pulling ahead. I should have blocked. I just had automatically clicked through it. Yeah, here's Kaito. Okay, because we were going to draw dead and they had a lot going on there. And it's humiliating. That was not a good game, a good showing for me. Let's grab the Now Spell Bombs. Pyroblast are really good against Kaito. Molten Collapse is really good against their deck because they may have Merc. And if they don't have Merc, they probably have Baragoyf. Like I do think it's like I've played versions that don't have those at the top end, and I'm now convinced that you do probably want to play those. So Thoughtseize come out. This is just like the swap. I think on the play we keep the dazes in, but we're going to peel the no. Actually, I think here against this deck we probably take the dazes out too. So what does that leave us? 57. I think we bring back in some forces. Actually, on the draw or on the play, I guess we could keep in daze and just try to tempo them. Daze may be relevant. Like we're not going to be wasting them probably, but yeah, I don't think Force is like particularly strong in this match. Force doesn't even get their most powerful card, which is Kaito. All right, so this is a good hand. This is a basic island hand if we need it. Yeah, I think this is fine. I'm going to keep this. I think I might lead with Underground Sea here. Yeah, because we do have basic island if we need it. We have a black source. I want to keep up a fetch, and I don't want to expose my soul, one of my two red sources, to early. So I'll be fine if they wasteland me here. I just wanted to get this on the table. And again, once they get to like 3 or 4 cards, it makes sense to just fire this off. Basic Swamp, Nethergoyf. Okay. And I think it's fine tempo-wise to just push this and keep moving and wait. Bowmasters is fine, but I'm not looking to like try to get my opponent here. Well, they don't have any dazes up or anything. Okay, and then we're going to clear this with the Spell Bomb, which is nice. I don't think we're going to fetch basics at all here. They don't know that we're on a 3-color version, so they have no reason to bring in Harbinger. I could just draw off this and get this stuff out of the yard. Keep it momentum. I think it's fine to wait another turn. Brainstorm's good. I'll just play out this land and I'll pass. Now they're probably like, huh? That's like the Metal Gear exclamation point. Something's different about this deck. It's not the exact mirror. Of course, they could also be playing this. So we could fight here over the Brainstorm. I think I'm going to wait. So we get an extra card. This is great. So now I'm not going to fire this off. I'm just going to chill and continue to make land drops. And then end step, if they do anything, if they get antsy, then we have the advantage. They are very much the control here, and we are the beatdown, but we are going to switch to control mode temporarily to make the most out of our cards, because cards are very important in this matchup. Nethergoyf would have done a ton of damage by now, by the way. Actually, if I'd left it out, maybe they would have more aggressively emptied their hand. So they have their own Bowmasters. Otherwise, they wouldn't do this. They're trying to bait our Bowmasters out. That's fine. If they fetch to clear the Bowmasters, then I can brainstorm myself safely around their Bowmasters. I don't think they'll do that here. They'll probably wait till the end step, and then I can brainstorm in their end step, or in my end step. They're playing very carefully. Okay, we can clear 3 cards and draw a card and potentially bait out their Bowmasters. I think that's a deal. And what I'm going to do is, if they Bowmasters here, I'm just going to let it happen. They're fetching. This ability goes on the stack, and we get to choose whether we want to use the ability. Okay, they're doing it. So I'm going to let this come in, and then I'm going to attempt to Bowmasters their Bowmaster. They could have double days. And then if they do, then I can choose not to draw. Fine. Now I'm just going to Bowmaster their Bowmaster. They force here. Okay, we're actually getting a lot of cards into their graveyard that we're going to wipe. So this is okay. Yeah, my hand is actually pretty terrible now, though. I am going to use this ability to draw. I do want this card. Okay, this is a Pyroblast. So they get the ping. So what I have to do is bounce this out of play. Or I could just brainstorm. They probably let it happen that I just bounced that out of play. I'm kind of like tempted to do that, just to bounce this out of play and like take some damage, but get rid of their token. Yeah, I'm just going to see what I draw next turn. Because if I draw like a Bowmasters, that'll be a lot. Okay, so let's draw for turn. We could have surveilled to manipulate or draw. All right, here's what I think we do. I think we bounce this out of play. If they force, we pyro. We could keep them lower resource in terms of cards. I think it's fine to just let them have the lands. This way we can get a perfect brainstorm. They are going to get an extra thing. I think it's fine. Please force. If you're thinking about forcing, you should. My opponent said, no matter who will win, this is Magic like it was intended to be. Agreed. Okay, so now I can go ahead and brainstorm. Okay. These cards are not good. I don't really want either of them. I can put them back. Now I will go and fetch yet another Underground Sea. I'm not going to be playing on basics here. I could get a Volk. I think it's fine. I'm going to brainstorm again. Just get these out of the way because they're bad. Oh my goodness. Well, I don't need this many lands, do I? I have not played a land for turn. I will play a land and I'll shuffle away one of these. Oh, I did play a land for turn. Okay, well, I'm going to play this and I'm going to hope this doesn't get dazed because that would be embarrassing. Are they going to daze this? Okay, it's in. All right, I'm just going to pass. They have a lot of Bowmaster power. We are going to draw a bad card, and then we have to shuffle. So we'll surveil, and then we can draw. Hopefully they wait till we put some sort of draw spell on the stack before if they just play out their Bowmasters main phase. But like they don't know that we just bricked hard. This is a Kaito, which is actually really good for us because we got rid of the construct, and now we're going to pyro this. But they could have, interaction. But we do get another turn without. So what I could do is they're surveilling. So they did get a 2-for-1 here, but they got rid of the thing. So that's a help for us. Okay, so we're going to draw a brick. Now I'm going to go ahead and just shuffle. So I can't Pyroblast. What I'd like to do is Pyroblast and have Hardcast Force up, but I'll settle for a Hardcast Daze or a Daze if we find it. Oh, we don't have Force on our deck. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and fetch first just to get some more selection. And then that'll control what I find off of this Spellbomb. I'd like to find a Daze just because I want to make sure this Pyroblast resolves is very important. Let's do this. Let's a Ponder. That is definitely a keep here. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and hit their graveyard. There's the Ponder. Now I'm going to Ponder. Fatal Push is quite good. Daze, actually, I'm going to take the Daze now just to ensure that this Pyroblast works. And then we have Fatal Push and Nethergoyf. Gosh, it's tempting to be greedy and just get the Nethergoyf out this turn. But if they have a Force, it's so bad for us. So, yeah, I'm going to take the Nethergoyf next turn. It'll be huge. I'll take the Daze now. Let's go ahead and get rid of this. Do you have a Force? Oh, okay. I think at this point it is correct to take them off a land. Restricts their options a little bit. All right, and we do have this, which is going to die to Bowmaster. So if they play out Bowmaster, this Brainstorm's fine. They're looking for land, so Daisy's on. We could even Daze this Undercity Sewer back and get some more Surveil action. That Fatal Push won't be useful if... Okay, do they have the land? Bobble. Okay, this is fine. Again, we failed to find our Bowmasters. We've looked very hard for Bowmasters. This is a very important card in our deck that we haven't been able to find. Their graveyard is stacked. Absolutely stacked after, like, within one turn of us hitting that. They've got 4 card types and everything. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and... Do you think I play this out? We still have, like, 1 land. We have our basics that we can grab. Heaven forbid they bring in Harbinger. I'd like to have an answer to that. Okay, and we have to wait for them to cast their Bowmaster before we play this out, just in case they have a second one. They've got 7 cards in hand. This is Fatal Push, I'll daze it. I think I'm going to let it happen because I can just bring it back. Yeah, I'll just bring it back next turn. I've got plenty of stuff in the graveyard to bring it back. So they probably saw that I tapped there for the daze. That was a unfortunate thing that I did. So I am going to go ahead and play this out, and I'll see if I can bait the Bowmaster. But I do want to start dealing damage. This isn't that big of a deal, and I want to make good use of my mana. Please play the Bowmaster. You know you want to kill this thing. All right. Well, that is a hard daze. Like, daze so hard, so fast. Do you have the force? This is a good time to use force if you have it. All right. That was very important. Okay. Barrowglyph would be great. There's the Fatal Push we knew about. I'm going to go ahead and just do this first. Dig deeper. Daze. Actually, I don't really want it at this point. It's unlikely to matter. I guess they could have had a second Bowmaster, but we have a Fatal Push to answer it anyway. Just going to come in for a hug, and then I'm going to bring Netherglyph back. Black. I'll just go ahead and make them think maybe I have a blast up, even though I don't. Netherglyph. So we're going to exile land, instant, artifact, because we don't have sorcery. We only have, yeah, and this should still be like a 4/5. Okay, this is the other Bowmaster. I can't stop it, unfortunately. I did consider putting Daze, but Daze wouldn't have been in time because Daze would have been on top of my deck there. I'm going to wait and just see what I draw here, but I'm almost certainly going to want to push this out of the way. I could just put them in the Abyss. I think that's fine. And I'll just hold this in case they put like something else that I need to kill out. But like, I don't think it's correct to play the Fatal Push right now when I've got like so many Netherglyphs. It is possible they draw like a force and then they have the force. Okay, this is fine. I mean, Merc still does it. Let's see, they've got 1, 2, 3. They've only got 3 instants of sorceries, but it still would be bigger than my Netherglyphs. I think we're going to get a force block on Netherglyph within the next turn or two. The scariest thing they could do would be Now Spellbomb us. They found the 3rd land. Tommy is a better target at this point than Bowmaster. They're tapped out. I'm going to see what I draw. They could definitely have a Kaito in hand. We've taken care of one of them. Ooh, Spellbomb was quite good. I kind of want to just push this, and then I can Spellbomb. See what I draw, just in case I draw a Kaito. Yeah, these Spellbombs are insane. Okay, we drew a land, which is a brick. All right, let's go ahead and head in for a hug. They could Kaito, but it's not going to save them necessarily because they can stun 1. Fatal Push here. That's fine. I could just bring him back. And I'm actually going to play this land out, and I'm just going to bring him right back. A huge part of Netherglyph is the fact that he's a mini arrow. I'll go get a basic island here. Our entire mana base out on display. Okay, so we go blue, black, blue, blue, artifact, land, because we still don't have the other sorcery in there. That takes a lot of time, by the way. That's a lot of clock that I just used up. Okay, they're dead on board if they attack with the Tamio. If they daze here thinking maybe he doesn't have another land, guess what? I got another land. I mean, they should presume that I still have basics in my deck. They could double daze here. Yeah. All right. I think we're probably winning this game, but like we are down on time quite a bit. Kaito would slow me down if they have their second Kaito. Wasteland. I'm not sure what I fear other than like a Barrowglyph would be pretty scary. Okay. No Kaito. Ponder. They could fill up the graveyard enough to get a mini Merc. They have to deal with one of these creatures immediately, otherwise they're dead though. Now Spellbomb would just be such a sick rip if they find it. Ponder again. This is going to flip Tommy, and that will keep them alive for a turn. Unless I find a sorcery. If they do, like, I am going to double attack her. I think it's worth it just to get her off the table. They could also have Bowmasters and double block to protect her. Bobble. They are really quickly getting all the types in their yard. I'm cool with them knowing what I'm drawing. Okay. That's a pretty good draw. Unless they find Now Spellbomb. So I don't have a creature type in my yard. If they force this, then that is going to be the other creature type I need to win. So they can't do that. Shield's Edict. Okay. So I'll sack this. Okay, it's in. It's a 5/6. So Tommy's dead this turn. Okay, let's go ahead and kill Tommy. Then I'll just bring my... I'll just bring her back. Bring the Goyf back. They are doing a good job of clinging to life here. Instant, artifact, land, sorcery. So these are like going to be 3/4s now, I believe. 2 3s. Yeah, that is smaller. They're forcing that. That's good for us. Okay. So I can't bring them back immediately, but I do have 3/4s again. This is a grindy freaking matchup. And again, now Spellbomb just does it. It just kills us. Clue. Now Spellbomb is absolutely the mirror breaker here. Don't have it. Brainstorm, sure. Like even if they have a no value, I mean they've had so many cards in their grip the entire game. I wonder what they are. They're force pitched. I didn't even look at days. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. So I don't think we're gonna kill them here, but they probably have like a fatal push or something. All right, let's see if this works. I will wait till damage. No, I can't wait till damage. I have to do this now to kill them. Okay, so they can't block, so they're going to take lethal here. I'll draw a card. Okay. You have the fatal push. Oh, wow. Okay, 9 minutes. Not a lot to win this final game. These have been really tight games. So sideboarding, we take out the dazes. They're pretty bad. What do we bring in? I'm going to bring force back in. So I'm going to try to get my basics and just try to ignore the red until I really need it and then fetch it. Okay, this is a very solid hand. I like the Bowmasters, like the Goyf. I'm going to keep this. 3 lands. We can get our basics here, which is very important. I'm just going to aggressively drop the Goyf probably, and with the hope of bringing him back. I would not be surprised if my opponent's playing, Grafdigger's Cage or something like that instead of Nether Goyf, and they're not able to board, or instead of Nile Spellbomb, and they're not able to board it in. I know that's conventional wisdom, but Nile Spellbomb is so good. If anything, I want you to walk away from this with the impression, damn, Nile Spellbomb's really good. It's fine. They're probably going to take our Bowmasters, but that does make our Goyf more stout when he arrives. Also, they do not have days up. They did mull. So a lot of things working in our favor this game. We were just worried about Merc. But we do have a lot of answers to Merc. We have 6 answers to Merc on our deck. So I'm going to go just get a Swamp and Goyf. Barrow Goyf. Such a sick card. Can't wait to get that out. So we'll play on basics. Let the beatings commence. So I'm not going to force for anything. I'm just going to hold this till very late in the game. All right, Spellbomb. Best card in our deck. Let's draw it. Why not? I'm just going to go get the island here. This card just soloed my opponent last game. That's how good it was. They Bowmaster, we just react by removing that stuff. Fatal Push, that's fine. Do I want to force this? No. Opponent's fetching. So I think I am going to actually just hit their graveyard in the upkeep. No, I'm gonna hit their graveyard after they surveil here, because I want to clear out that graveyard and keep them off Merc next turn, and I'm fine with drawing the card. I know I could be a little more patient with this, but it's fine. All right, now we don't have Days Protected Force up in case they do something catastrophic, but what are they going to do that's catastrophic? I mean, Bowmasters, that's fine. Lots of answers to that. So now I could try to ram a Barrow Goyf through. Barrow Goyf would be pretty big. I could wait a turn. I could Brainstorm and then force. Have Days Protected Force if they can't have. Okay, perfect. Now we have Bowmasters. We don't need this many land, but we are going to be drawing anyway. So what I'll do is I'll just do like this. Then I'm going to play this land out. I think I'm just going to play this out. And then next turn, I'll Barrow Goyf around Days. They want to create a Clue, that's okay. So they are going to kind of be able to claw back in with Clue. I don't have a good answer to that. They'll probably crack immediately. If they try to flip her, it's great for us because Barrow Goyf can deal with her pretty easily. If they waste here, it's great because we've got tons of land coming. That does mean we probably want to Bowmasters this turn cycle instead of... Yeah, I'll just play this out. So if they crack Clue, I am going to just probably Bowmaster here. And then I have Force for their Bowmaster. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to just be aggressive here. Because we have Barrow Goyf coming next turn. And I want to get this on the table sooner rather than later. If this eats up Fatal Push is great for us. I'll just force if they actually Bowmaster us. That's what I'll force. That is, like, in these mirrors, Bowmaster is everything. They can't really crack clues. They can't Tamio ultimate. They can't really do a lot of things that make Tamio scary while Bowmasters is up. They're coming in for a hug. This could be Kaito, which would be annoying. Okay, it's not Kaito. That's great. They know I have Force too. They know I have Force blue card. All right. Play this out. I'm going to go ahead and come in for a hug and see how they react. They have to have exactly Bowmaster plus Force blue card. That is why I held my Force. Do you have the Force back? If you do, it's pretty devastating, but I will have a Baragorf on the table, and he will be pretty big. They do have exactly Force blue card. That's crazy. Okay, so what I need to do here is I am going to go ahead and hit their graveyard because I want to draw now. Baragorf. Okay, I think double Baragorf should be able to get it done. We'll see. That might not be the case. Okay, so that happens. That was just crazy that they had exactly what they needed. This is big enough that like it can't be blocked. They take the damage. I mean, it could be double blocked, but that would be full. Okay, and now we just go boom, boom, boom. It's my Baragorf versus your Tamio, essentially, with the honorable mention, like the guest of honor, Orcish Bowmaster is going to sit pretty. Okay, they're going to crack a clue. If they find a daze, it's absolutely backbreaking. They are on the play here, so it is possible they can find a daze. It would be the draw of the century. All right, we're in. That's a huge relief. Now, they could absolutely Fatal Push. They could also have like Wasteland plus days for the subsequent Baragorf, but if they don't have that, we're in a very good position. And I'm just going to keep hitting them with everything. I'm going to turn everything sideways here. At this point, we've reached the point of the game where it's all about just jamming threats. They have 2 cards in hand. One of them could be Force. Pyroblast is pretty good because I could counter Force. See, I do already have good stuff in my graveyard. Do I want to bring back a Nethergoyf? I don't. I think I just attack with everything first. Yeah, I'm going to attack and see what they do. They have to basically chump here. If they had a second Bowmaster, it would potentially be good because they could like trade here. Yeah, they're just going to block. Okay, we start gaining life. This is good. Now, my instinct is to just keep jamming Baragorfs. And then, should they have a Force, we do have the Pyro. They crack the clue. Wow, that's important. Do we want to go ahead and blast here? I don't think we bother. I think we hold it. Because I'll be really embarrassed if like there's a giant Merc. Well, I mean, like, when is the giant Merc going to appear? How's that going to happen? Oh, they could have days here. I think I just chill and give them one more card off the Tommy. Next turn, we do have... Thinking very hard here about whether we take out Tommy. They still have 2 cards in hand. If they dazes, it's not the end of the world. I'm going to attempt this. Because I don't want them to get any clues that draw them closer to Fatal Push. Okay, so that worked. They get a ping in. They get a blocker. But we've got double Baragorf on the table. We will still have pretty good power toughness if we bring back Nethergoyf because we've got 2 Bowmasters in our yard. I'm trying to think if there are any sideboard cards they could have that could just completely turn this upside down. Their own Baragorf would be good. Yeah, there it is. Okay, they don't have good attacks. I think we just have to smash them with both of our Baragorfs. Tommy. Yeah. They're going to probably have to trade here. They're like super dead on board, basically. They could gain life by blocking this. And then they could connect, but they don't know that I have a Tommy in hand, which would chump this. Okay, they are opting to do this. Okay, so we gain a bunch of life. Are we going to connect? Are they about to throw a Bowmaster in front of it? Yeah, they can't do that. That would be a mistake. Never let this connect. Okay, they're opting to attack with Baragorf, which is A-okay by me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play this Tommy out as a blocker, and then I'm going to bring back a Nethergoyf, and I'm going to hope they don't have a daze. But I'll have 2 blockers, and they're going to be disincentivized from attacking. Nethergoyf. So we're going to go instant, creature, artifact. Do you have a daze? Okay, that's a 4/5. That's respectable. That'll stop them from attacking. Like, they could attack with... I don't know how they get out of this. Ponder. Like, how they get out of this is they find, like, double Fatal Push through some miracle, and they Fatal Push these out of the way. And then, even then, yeah, they're going to gain life off the Baragorf. So they could tread water if they find double Fatal Push. We've worked very hard for this game. My goodness. Using like the full clock. So they're going to gain some life here. I am going to throw Tommy under because I want to hit with it for as much as I can next turn. What's the last card? Another Goyf? Okay, it's a small Goyf. Okay, so let's think. We can hit for 14. They'll just double block. Our last card is terrible. They can swing back and survive. They'll be very low. They will potentially get a card. Oh, so we could just keep this back. I think we just keep that back, and then we chump the Bear Goyf. We bricked here, so we kind of have to do this. Okay, so this is like double force block, and then they let 4 through. Okay, you are crazy if you're letting that through. Because now I get the trigger. Yes, I'd like to mill 5 cards. Yes, I'd like to bring back a Nethergoyf. Okay, and I think that's the game. Like, I don't think they can come back from that. Got one on loan in hand. They are under like lethal pressure. Had I attacked with this, actually, maybe it was a force block that I missed. You can attack with that Bear Whiff. I will definitely block right here. If they have now Spell Bomb, joke's on me, but I think they're still dead even with now Spell Bomb. They gain some life because they can't bomb both of our graveyards. They've done like they've been very careful about keeping Bowmasters down the entire time. For all they know, they've locked something in our hand. In actuality, this Bowmaster has been of very little consequence other than removing my Bowmaster. A Merc would be a good blocker, but it's not going to save them. Actually, Merc could save them because they could get rid of like some types. They have sorcery. We don't have a sorcery, so they could shrink it that way. But it would... I don't think it's enough, though. I'm not doing a lot of mental calculations just because I'm trying to save energy, because I want to make sure that like these last 2 minutes and 40 seconds, if we get into some weird stalemate type situation, like a second Beargoyf would be pretty scary. Fatal Push. Okay. I guess they couldn't turn on Revolt. This is the Merc. Okay. Oh, they're just bringing that back? Okay. I don't think that saves them. They do have double blockers now, but I can just bring back my Nethergoyf after a combat and use that to block theirs. Oh, and I drew like the best card I could draw. So I think this just ends the game because it takes their blocker off the table. And now we just attack with everything. Good games. Great games. Yeah, great. Yeah, these were some incredible games. What a way to close this league. You feel me on that chump attack. I can't remember which chump attack that was. The whole thing's a blur. But I should have blocked the Orc Army. I think that would have been... All right. It was a very close game, but we did 4-1, losing only to Maxtortion, who's on a white deck, which white is almost always going to be like the bane of black decks. And he played extremely well, as usual. Like, he occasionally publishes videos. I encourage you to check out his videos. But let's take another look at the list. This list is solid. I love it. Oh, man. The freaking Null Now Spellbomb was so sick. The entire league. It was buffing our Goyfs. So Mr. UC was actually playing two... what's it called? Two Baubles. The Mishra's Baubles. I think Mishra's Bauble sucks, personally. It's like a terrible card against Bowmasters, and Bowmasters is everywhere. So I just was like, well, let's just put it in a fourth Tommy. But I'm kind of thinking we could cut a Tommy and just go back down to 3, which is like the marginal value of the fourth Tommy is there for sure. There are games where we like literally use all 4 Tommies. You can see videos of the league where like it's the fourth Tommy that finally sticks and does something. However, I can definitely like vibe with the fact that like I kind of want to have a second one of these. Like, were there any matches where this wasn't relevant? Because every match was like, using the graveyard for something. So this is good against lands. Let's take a look at MTG Goldfish real quick. And humor me. This is the end of the video. I like to like go on my little rants. So if you don't enjoy seeing this, be excellent to each other and party on. But let's keep going. Okay, let's take a look at this list. Okay, so Spellbomb, incredible. Spellbomb, pretty damn good. Spellbomb, irrelevant. So that's like, is it Delver and Grixis Tempo, which is basically like our deck that we're playing right now. Now 5% of the meta, it looks like. Yorion, Beanstalk, very good. Dimir, Reanimator, very good. Teamer Delver, very good. Cephalid Breakfast, very good. Sneaky Show, irrelevant. Painter, not bad. It's not nothing. Mystic Forge combo, irrelevant. Jeskai Control, irrelevant. Reanimator, very strong. irrelevant. Okay. And then we keep going, and lands is 2% of the meta. It's very good against lands. Stifle Nut is irrelevant. Doomsday, probably irrelevant. Nutty mid-range. This is not... Yeah, I think it's irrelevant here. Death Tax is relevant. So we are kind of getting into the territory where like Esper Control, it is good against them because they use Merc. Jund, probably. It's funny they call this Jund because there's no red as far as I can tell. This is very good against Reanimator. Eldrazi, it doesn't matter. Goblins, it doesn't matter. But mono black mid range, it does because they're going to be playing like Nethergoyfs and stuff. Yeah. So, man, they really have a comprehensive list here. Grixis Control is pretty good against that. This is like James Kisao. I would definitely, keep that in if I had it in. They have Spell Pierce. They have Snapcaster Mage. They have Cling to Dust. Epic Storm probably doesn't matter, but it can occasionally. I mean, it's not bad because it shuts off their graveyard lines with Beseech the Mirror into Guy as well. Cradle Control, it is good. It makes their creatures smaller because their creatures depend on the graveyard to grow. Doesn't matter against Creative Technique. This shouldn't be a deck. This is like super frustrating. Charbelcher, I don't know what that... we're getting really deep, but like if you look at the meta, okay, so if we add this up, I'm going to add this up real quick. Okay, I've added all of these percentages together, and at least half of the meta is graveyard-centric. So what does this mean? And when I say graveyard-centric, they use their graveyard in a non-trivial way. So if that's the case, why not just play 2 Nile Spellbomb, and then that frees up space for more sideboard tech over here?